have to eat the dream. You have to sleep the dream. You have to dream the dream. You got to touch. You have to see it when nobody else sees it. You have to feel it when it's not tangible. You have to believe it when you cannot see it. You got to be possessed with the dream. The dream.
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it. Do it better than anybody you ever seen do it. Screams from the haters, got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero need his theme music. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power.
Good evening, good night. I don't even know what to tell you, but welcome back to the Jaguar Broadcasting Network. We are live from the Holiday Inn
in Hamburg.
What would you call this? Meeting room?
Yeah, we're in the conference room here.
Yeah, and we're excited to be here tonight to do our second year in a row of the late night talk show here before your Lady Jags take on GRC in the first round of the state tournament tomorrow night.
Yeah, this has already been a great day. We've come up here. We had a nice practice at Transy, getting ready to go, getting locked in. And then thank you to the Liparodi family, Lipari Energy. They fed us at Jeff Ruby's just a little bit ago. I'm still stuffed as a little tick. That was awesome. So thank you for that. We're great. We greatly appreciate you doing that for us. We have an awesome show here today for you. Very proud of the Lady Jags for getting back here. Awesome that we get to do this again. So I think we're going to take a little break here. When we come back, we're going to have a couple interviews from some of our coaching staff.
North Laurel Jaguar basketball is brought to you all season long by Revolution Physical Therapy in London, Kentucky. At 195 Commercial Drive, Suite 100, Revolution PT specializes in sports rehab, injury recovery, and personalized care to help you heal, strengthen, and get back in the game. Call 606-657-5111 today to schedule your appointment and stop letting pain slow you down. Revolution Physical Therapy. Be better, move better, play better.
For quality casework since 1975, look no further than Stidham Cabinet Incorporated at 471 Nursery Road in Corbin. If you want experience, expertise, and dedication, you've found it at Stidham Cabinet. Come create your dream design by visiting our 2,000 square foot showroom or visit StidhamCabinet.com to see a list of all of our name brand products to choose from. That's Stidham Cabinet, 471 Nursery Road in Corbin. Phone number 606-528-3648 or 800-425-0899. Welcome back to the Jaguar Broadcasting Network for tonight's late night talk show. We are joined now by two of our awesome assistant coaches, legendary Hall of Fame coach Ivy Burchell, and first-year assistant coach, former Jaguar alumni Gracie Jervis. Thank you all for joining us here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, so first things first, we'll start with you, Gracie. Obviously, you were a part of the very first team at North Laurel that won a region tournament and got to play at Rupp, and now you're here as a coach. Just talk about what that experience was for you as a player and how you think that'll help you as an assistant coach this year.
Yeah, I've been through it. I have been coached by Mahan. I know his ways. I know kind of how his system works. And being like a coach, I guess I can kind of be the bridge between the two and kind of help the girls better understand, I guess, kind of where he's coming from.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm going to go over here to you, Coach Burchell. We was talking earlier. You have been a part of a coaching staff of 15 Sweet 16 teams. You were a head coach for 5 of those. You were assistant on the rest, and then you played in 2 Sweet 16s yourself. So you're a man with a lot of experience. Just kind of talk about how it never gets old to get to the Sweet 16 and what it takes to get here and truly what it means to be able to make it to be one of those Elite 16 teams.
Well, it's great to be on a winner. That's for sure. That's one thing I've learned over the years. It's a whole lot better to win than it is to lose. But success is a combination of a lot of things. You got to have the talent, and then you got to have the work ethic, and you got to be a little bit lucky every now and then too. But I've been very fortunate to be around a lot of good players and work with a lot of good coaches and building traditional programs. On Clay County, when I first started over there, we were a strong, good traditional program. And I think North now in the last 7 or 8, 10 years has sort of took over that in the region. So I've had an opportunity to work on both ends of that, which, I appreciate being around good competition, good coaching, good players. And like I say, it takes all that to be successful.
Yeah. We were talking about whenever we won this region title right here. This is your 4th year on the coaching staff. We've won region all 4 years. So there has to be some kind of correlation going on there, Coach.
I don't know about that, but I mean, I sure enjoyed being here for the 4 years.
Yeah.
I've made a lot of good friends and good relationships with some of the players, and got a chance to coach some really outstanding young ladies.
I know we're glad to have you. It's a lot better to have you on our bench than have you on the opposing bench. I was a part of the early days whenever every time we would go over to Clay County, I would dread it because it didn't matter what kind of talent you had out there on the court. You was going to make the daggone game tight as all get out, and you were going to give us a heck of a game every single time because that's the kind of coach you were, because ball. You was one of the few coaches that we would go up against in the region that actually knew what they were doing, and you made it tough on us every single time that we went over there.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, but yeah, I mean, you have to know who you're playing against and what you can and can't do. And sort of toward the end of my coaching career with Clay County, we weren't nearly as talented as we were in the beginning. So my philosophy was always the other team can't score if they don't have the ball.
Oh, I know you believed in that one. I can tell you.
So we tried to take real good shot selection and make sure when we got a shot, it was something we thought we had a chance to make.
Yeah.
Thank God we don't have a shot clock. Shot clock hates to see Ivy Birchall coming. Golly. But this next question would be for you, Gracie. We have another segment coming up later tonight in the show, and our athletic director, Ethan Eversole, has dubbed it the Good Old Days segment. And so we're going to have a couple former players get on here and talk a little bit about this program, what it means to them, and how they feel seeing it still succeed. But just to lead on that right now, Gracie, you were a part of the first region championship, but that came your junior year, right?
Yep.
So there were many years before that when we wouldn't even win a district championship. Just talk about, kind of what was your motivation? Because I was telling somebody the other day, like, I felt bad when South lost because I don't know where they find their motivation. Because, like, if you don't win, like, what motivates you to keep going? You know what I mean? Like, we got good and better and played in the offseason because we wanted to chase that winning feeling again. So just talk about, as a part of that team and those teams that weren't, top of the district, top of the region. What was it like, in offseason when you're trying to get better and reach those goals?
Well, winning the region championship's always the main goal, but, like, we kind of knew that we maybe wouldn't get there. And then we finally started building the program up. We had the pieces clicking, and then it was just, I don't know, it was just something that, a good feeling.
You knew it was possible, but it was just like kind of what Birchall said, like you have to be lucky sometimes, and you guys didn't always have that luck. Talk about what it did feel like, though, at OBI when you guys won that first district in several years.
Oh, it's crazy. It was like we won the regionship, honestly. I mean, we drenched Mayhan. I mean, we celebrated big time.
I think we had an escort. I was in sixth grade. We had an escort for a district championship.
We went big.
If you called Eddie Mayhan up today and was like, we got an escort after winning district, he would cuss you to pieces probably, because that's just not part of our state. Like, that's expected now. But yeah, I remember, I think I have a video on my iPhone 6. I was with the team outside, and here come Hannah Lawson and Madison with the water bucket on Mayhem. But that's something we'll get into later on in the show, though, just about I try to tell the girls all the time, it's not always been like this. We're not always had the expectation and the chance to win region every year. Like, there's been really talented players before that just never got that opportunity, and that's something we don't ever want the program to take for granted.
Coach Birchall, I want to go back to you. I want to kind of go back to your early days. I know you were assistant on the 1989 state championship team. I know you were a part of that 1987 championship team in some way. You were a part of the staff. Just kind of talk about what led up to that, and what it really takes to put together a championship run when you get down here to the Sweet 16.
Well, I actually wasn't on the boys 87.
Okay.
I wasn't on that, but I was on assistant on the girls. But when we had a lot of good, strong, big players, and we were just very talented back then. And Coach Donnie Gray, he did a good job, and he got a little roll going there. He won like maybe eight in a row or something like that. And we were just super talented. And the more confidence you get from winning a region, that just makes you want to go back that much more the next year. And once you taste the victory of going to state tournament, you don't want to let that go. And so just tradition builds in that way. And when I played for Coach Keith, he really instilled that in us, that we had the pride that it didn't matter who we went up against. We felt like we could win. And that means a whole lot, because if you don't feel like you can win, you're sort of up against it.
Yeah. I know those are two big-time names right there in the state in general, Bobby Keith and Donnie Gray, two legends of coaching. We actually have two of Donnie Gray's grandchildren on the team this year. And I think it'd be very fitting Donnie Gray gets 1989 state championship. If his two grandchildren could get one right here in 2026, I think that would be an awesome thing to do.
Absolutely. I don't see why not. Obviously, we got a really tough first matchup, but what's new? Every year we've been up here, we've had a crappy draw, and we draw the loaded ones first. But good news, Sacred Heart's not in the tournament. I couldn't tell you the last time that's happened.
Some people might say it was a crappy draw. I like having GRC first round. I think we've had a whole week to prepare for them. I know we have a great coaching staff. I'd put them up against any coaching staff in the state. I know that our girls will be prepared for tomorrow. I like having GRC first round, and I ain't scared of GRC. I know they've beat us out of the tournament pretty much every year we've been down here, but I'm ready to beat one and get one over on them tomorrow.
I think that is an advantage for us. I mean, like when we were in the region championship against South, like we were the ones who had things to lose, and I felt like a lot of the first half was us playing to not lose instead of playing to win, because we knew we had that target on our back, like you're going for the 4-peat. Up here, like that's not the case. GRC, like you said, has beat us a couple times in state, so they're the ones with the pressure now to uphold that and keep that going. So that works in our advantage. It gives us kind of a higher step up on them.
Yeah, well, it's like Birchall said. Once you get here, you don't ever want to lose that feeling. Once you get to that point, you never want to drop down to that lower level. We're still fighting and clawing. Yeah, we fought and clawed. Gracie's years, some of the girls that we're going to have up later, they fought and clawed to get us to the region. Now these girls that we have now are continuing on that legacy, and they're fighting and clawing, and they are going to knock it down, and they're going to get a state championship. If I want it to be this year. May not be this year, but we will get one, because these girls want it. They're fighting hard for it, and I believe in these girls, and I believe in this team, and I think they can do it.
Absolutely. All right. Anything else our assistant coaches want to add?
I'm great.
Okay. Birchall, you got anything?
I'm just looking forward to getting to play again. The draw is the draw, but if you're going to win a state championship, you got to beat the good teams.
It's a gauntlet either way.
It doesn't matter if it's in the first round or if it's in the championship night.
Absolutely. All right, so this has been assistant coaches Ivy Birchall and Gracie Jervis, joined by Jalen Black and Jordan Markham here on the JBN Late Night Talk Show. We'll step aside for a quick break and be back with more.
North Laurel Jaguar basketball is brought to you all season long by Revolution Physical Therapy in London, Kentucky. At 195 Commercial Drive, Suite 100, Revolution PT specializes in sports rehab, injury recovery, and personalized care to help you heal, strengthen, and get back in the game. Call 606-657-5111 today to schedule your appointment and stop letting pain slow you down. Revolution Physical Therapy, be better, move better, play better.
For quality casework since 1975, look no further than Stidham Cabinet Incorporated at 471 Nursery Road in Corbin. If you want experience, expertise, and dedication, you've found it at Stidham Cabinet. Come create your dream design by visiting our 2,000 square foot showroom. or visit stidhamcabinet.com to see a list of all of our name brand products to choose from. That's Stidham Cabinet, 471 Nursery Road in Corbin. Phone number 606-528-3648 or 800-425-0899.
Can we see it?
Why is the music still playing? All right, welcome back here to the JBM Late Night Talk Show. This was the segment we've all been waiting for. It's titled The Good Old Days, and we got a bunch of has-beens here joining us remotely. Guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your night to be on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Of course.
That's so good.
Great.
All right, so for those of you who don't know, we are joined now by North Laurel Jaguar basketball alumni Madison Shepard, Isabel Gray, Reagan Hubbard, Gracie Jervis, Jalen Black, and Bella Sizemore. So we thought this would be just a cool little segment because Mahan has tried to preach to this team all season about, the people who have come before them and laid the groundwork for the foundation that has been built, the standard that's been built, and we wanted to get you guys on here to just talk about that a little bit. All right, so first, let's see. We'll start with Madison first. Obviously, I was talking to Gracie before the break about that first district championship that North Laurel won at OBI that year. Run me through just how that was for you.
Well, let me go back in my brain 100 years and remember. No, I'm just kidding. That was such a fun night. And if you've ever played in OBI's gym, you understand just how fun that atmosphere is. And we always joked about the cheap concession stand and the band that they had over there. But just the environment and it being such a close court to stands ratio, it was such a fun environment. And that was very special, specifically for Hannah and I, because we were the only two seniors that were left from our start when we were in 7th grade. And so it felt like everything was worth it that game, and super fun to watch our younger players, Gracie, Isabel. Reagan didn't play that year, but it was really special to watch just all the hard work pay off, and was very special to celebrate that with Coach Mahan. And it just felt like the sweetest reward after a lot of years of not winning. Yes. And there are so many pictures from that game that I still look back on and just remember, even the cheerleaders that were seniors with us who cheered for us through that whole time frame of us being in high school. It was just a special game that I'll never forget.
Absolutely. And one question, does anybody remember the infamous Gracie Jervis half-court shot for $100, baby?
$500.
$500? Oh my God. Yeah, I just remember being in the stands I have a video on my phone of me videoing you shooting.
That's pretty sweet.
Every time I think of that district championship, that's the first thing that comes to my brain. But so I guess, Madison, next just talk a little bit about what was a motivator for you guys. I talked before the break about how for us now it's that winning, that championship feeling of winning that. It's like this high, this adrenaline high that you just want to chase every season. But obviously you guys weren't winning championships that much at that point. So what was your all's motivation?
Well, specifically for me, I started playing with the high school team when I was in 7th grade. I didn't play on the varsity or the JV team. I was only per my parents, allowed to play on the freshman team. And I was about as skinny as I could have been. And so I was rolling into practice, my practice gear falling off my shoulders. And so from 7th grade year until my senior year, our goal was the same every year, to win. And that was not, even though, you know, maybe people outside of our team didn't expect us to win, Coach Mahan did. And so the goal was simple, and it was to win regardless of what other people thought. And so, you know, for us, the motivation was just to do better. The next game, do better. The next year, do better. And then, you know, obviously y'all started winning once I left. So thanks for that. But no, the goal was the same. You know, we wanted to win and do better and better. And we did that. Every year we saw improvement. 7th grade to 8th grade, there was improvement. 8th grade to 9th grade, there was improvement. And then obviously up to my senior year when we win the district tournament, that was like, we did it. You know, we finally got a championship. And so, you know, it was such a special 5 years for me, 6 years really, when you count 7th grade year, that truly shaped everything that happened for me after that. And I don't want to talk too much out of the question, but I'm just so grateful to Coach Mahan, because he prepared me for life. And he prepared me for my time at Campbellsville. And I always joke with my teammates at Campbellsville, because there was not a single rule at Campbellsville that I didn't have in high school. In fact, I think I had more in high school than I did at Campbellsville. And that was awesome for me, because I was ready. You know, I knew what was expected of me, and I appreciated that after the fact. I didn't always love it during high school, but I texted him the other day actually, and I just said, you know what, thank you. You prepared me for life, and I can do anything, because you were hard on me. You expected a lot out of me, and now, you know, now I'm good. And so I just owe him everything for all that he, you know, expected out of us, and taught us. And, you know, not every day was glamorous. Trash bag, if you remember that day. But it was such a special time in my life, and, you know, getting to do it with my best friends. And obviously y'all know Gracie and I are cousins, and so getting to do that with her was really special, and watching her grow and develop and then win championships was awesome. And I could say that about everybody. You know, I joke with Reagan, because she wasn't on the team my senior year, but she was my junior year, and then I got to watch her just really go crazy and have this life-altering transformation and turn into the most wonderful woman. And then same thing with Isabel. She's always been just Isabel and been amazing, but just to watch the improvement from, you know, because they all were younger than me, and so I felt responsible for, you know, your all's improvement and the things that you all accomplished. And so I'm very proud of the program and where it's at today. And it's always an honor to look back and think about the hard days, but also to watch you all succeed. And I'm very proud to be a North Laurel Jaguar.
Absolutely.
No, Madison, I don't want to talk a whole lot during this time, because this is your all's time. This is what you girls did. But I do want to talk about this. You talked about kind of the standard that Eddie Mahan holds you all to. I look at the girls that we're talking to here. I've been a part of the program for 7 years. You and Reagan, I didn't actually get to be a part of. I had Isabel and Gracie for 1 year. That was my very first year. They were seniors on that team. So they don't know me as good as these two do. But I know that the standard has never changed. You look at Eddie Mahan's record. He has 344 wins, 155 losses. He's been here for 15 years. 10 years prior to that, the record for the North Laurel Lady Jaguars girls were 144 wins and 134 losses. We were barely trying to scrape by. Coach Mahan comes in, and he set a standard, and he holds everybody to it, and it's been that way since the very first day that he took over. And I know that it's continued all the way till now. And that's why we're here. And that's why we didn't want to leave you girls out, because you girls are the ones that built this legacy. You girls are the reason that we have
Hold it up.
the dynasty. I want to get this close up here so you all can see. We've been talking about the
They
four-peat.
need a shirt.
We didn't forget about the fifth. 2019 is on the shirt for the championship this year.
Let's go.
You all are a part of it. Every person that has ever donned the North Laurel Lady Jaguar jersey under Eddie Mahan has been a part of winning this fourth one right here, because you all set the standard and you all passed it down from generation to generation. That's what a dynasty is. A dynasty is when you have a standard and each generation continues to hold that standard. I am very proud of all you girls, even the ones that I didn't take care of, for building what I get to be a part of now. And I'm very thankful that you all built that I get to be a part of that, and I wouldn't change it for anything. So thank you for that. That's all I'm going to say in this part. This is your all's time. But I just wanted to let you all know that you're not forgotten. I promise you're not forgotten. Your legacy will live on forever because you all laid the groundwork for what we are now.
Good job, JoJo. That got me
Thanks,
fired up.
Jordan.
That got me fired
That was so
up.
inspirational, actually.
But Madison, I so relate to what you're saying about Coach Mahan and the things he teaches you. When you're playing, you don't see it. You don't see it at all. You're just like, man, he's griping on this. He's making us do this. We have a curfew. We're missing out on things. But I'm only 2 years out of high school in the program and into the real life. And I'm already just like so grateful for the things that I can now relate to adulthood that Coach Mahan taught me. And a lot of people say he's a hard coach. He's an unfair coach. Well, guess what? Life is hard. Life is unfair. And he does what's best to prepare you for that. So that was really well spoken, what you said there. And we'll move on next to people who were part of that 2019, what JoJo's talking about, the 2019 team that brought the first ever region championship here for the girls program. Reagan, first of all, we'll talk about you. Madison mentioned, you took a year off and just absolutely made so many sacrifices, worked so hard to put yourself in the best position, to put that team in the best position to win a region championship. And every time I think about that team, I think about you, because your role was more important than I think you ever realized. Just talk about, kind of what made you, want to go to work every day, want to get up before school, go to the gym, and kind of be the best version of yourself for that team.
I think sophomore year when I started playing and I was out there with everyone, I knew that I wasn't at a point that I needed to be and that I wanted to be, if that makes sense. I looked at everyone around me and they had much more experience than me. They had been doing that, for quite some time. And here I am, just the newbie that walked onto the court. So I played that first year and oh my goodness, it was hard. It was hard. And I think that there was probably some days where I went home and cried about it, if I'm being honest. So yeah, I kind of got down about it. But instead of staying down, I decided, I needed to fix something and I needed to do something about it. So I took my junior year off and I worked really, really hard. And at first, honestly, I wasn't gonna come back. I thought that, okay, I took a year off, there's no sense in it, I guess you could say, until I talked to Mahan about it. And then I came back and, oh my goodness, I wish I would have done it so much longer than what I had. I look back on it and I miss the memories. I miss the excitement, the feeling of showing up to practice, walking out on the court. I don't know. I just wanted to be better. I wanted to do better. And I know that the girls that I played with, they deserved better, especially if they were going to utilize me as a post player the way they were being taught to.
Absolutely, man. If that don't get you fired up, someone being so selfless. Like today, this day and age, it's all about me. Like I want to do this for me. But Reagan Hubbard, she's one of the main reasons, we brought that first region title home because of her selflessness, and, wanted to be better for her team. So, Isabel, on to you now. You ever lay awake at night and think about what would have happened had Gracie Turner not fouled you on that 3-point shot in the semifinals?
Sometimes I have fever dreams and I'm like, oh, praise the Lord, she fouled me. But man, yeah, I just remember how awesome our team was. Especially, we would have our bus rides, and there was this younger teammate, and she would come up and she would come to the back of the bus and just like start talking to me about the Golden State Warriors and basketball all the time. And I'm like, this girl can talk about basketball all the time. And her name is
Isabel
Dylan
Gray,
Black.
that was a person I looked up to, man.
Dude.
Gosh, it didn't help that you were like best friends with my brother and stuff. You were always around, so it's like, I guess I better be best friends with this girl.
I had no choice.
Gosh, I was so appreciative. I was so appreciative though about how you guys took me in. Little 7th grade me, my jersey swallowed me up, and God, I was just happy to be there. I remember I was first to the water bucket. I was like, how many waters can I fill this time out? Like, how many can I deliver? Like, I was just so like excited to be there, and you guys were like my heroes. I was looking up to you all like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I would say we just had a super selfless team. You talked about motivation earlier, and it really it was never about us. And, you know, Gracie and I were juniors at that point. We were just playing for our teammates and the seniors, and that was just always where our motivation was. So I think that, you know, for the team this year, just really look at your teammates and play for them. And that's where your motivation will never run out as long as that's the top priority.
You're not going to believe this, Isabel, but I think it was in the region championship. Your former coach said almost that exact same thing to the girls in there. And that's just part of living up to that standard and keeping that standard over and over again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Gracie, I want you to talk about that 13th region win. And honestly, people ask me about it all the time. And obviously I only remember certain parts because I feel like I had like barely any memory of my childhood. Mm-hmm. But I just remember it was so weird because we played one of the best teams. South was ranked first all year. We weren't even supposed to be, you know, in the region championship. And we played them in the semifinals and everyone sold out crowd. Like, I mean, it was like insane. And then we win and we play Harlan County in the championship, who we absolutely just ran into the ground. And then it's like, okay, but we won region. Like, I just remember, I don't know if you guys remember, that was just such a weird feeling to be like the semifinals pretty much was the championship. And we knew we had to take care of business. I mean, I remember Mahan, I think you only played like 4 subs off the bench. We were up 40. And there was 1 minute left and Mayhem was like, I'm not subbing. I was like, nothing is guaranteed. But just talk about what you remember most from that game.
The South game was definitely what you said. It was like our championship game. I mean, we celebrated probably harder that game. And it was like, we got to keep it cool. We still got one more game. But we really did celebrate like we won the championship because we knew. I mean, the next game with 30 points, 30-point win.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we did that. I mean, it was the first one. It was a big deal. We got it done.
Gosh, it was. I still think about the picture. I can't remember. I just remember Reagan is just hugging somebody, sobbing. And like most people would be like, oh my gosh, like it's a basketball game, like it's a high school girls basketball game. But like that, like in that moment, you just think about all the years in the gym. You know, your dad's with you. You guys are arguing on the way home. Like I don't know if that maybe it's just an experience with me, but like we're silent on the ride home because you know we argued in the gym about something. But it's just like a moment of just relief. Everything is paid off, and you know, you just feel so excited that it went your way. Just talk about each of you what that feeling was kind of like when you all won your like respective championship. Anybody?
I can start. Yeah, I'll start. I think Jalen, you hit on a good talking point. It all started for each of us in a different way. For me, I didn't start playing basketball until I was in 5th grade, and I was a Bush Elementary Blue Devil. Represent. Hey, listen.
Fly Eagles fly. Ain't that right, Jay?
Y'all already know.
That's right, JoJo.
Let's go.
Y'all already know who holds the most elementary tournament titles.
Right.
But for me, that's when it started, and obviously, like in my family, basketball was kind of what you did. And so for me, I had a later start, and there was a lot of times where I was in the gym with my dad crying because I was upset he was making me shoot one more free throw or one more layup. But obviously when you win a championship of any sort, whether it's an elementary title an AAU title, an upward title, or district, a region, a state, whatever that is, the feeling of winning a championship is the same. And I just remember feeling a lot of relief actually from that, and understanding that that is what people before me had worked for, that is what I had worked for, and that I was working hard for the people that were going to come after me. And it's just a special feeling. You know, you work so hard with the people that are on your team, and you all go through various challenges through the season, but you're all doing the same thing, and you all have the same goal. And so winning that championship was very special. And then obviously we did not win region that year, which was very, very heartbreaking, because we really thought we could, and we really wanted to win that year. And we did play Harlan County, and so I don't really want to talk about it, but we had a really good chance to win, and that was our first time making it to the region championship game, and we got to walk out in the arena with the 18-wheeler horns and the dark, and that was so cool for us because we had not experienced that before. And so yeah, it was pretty awesome. So I'm happy for, the girls that have been after me and that will be after you all as coaches, and because it never gets old, and you never forget. Like I still walk into North Laurel's gym, and I kind of get like this mix of emotions. One is like fear, like, oh shoot, like am I late? Am I late? Number one, and where am I supposed to be? But also like just this like almost these chill bumps, just of like all the memories that I have from being there, and just the special, time that I spent there by myself or with my teammates, and then getting to watch my brother play there and my cousins play there, and just all the special memories. And to the team this year, I would say really enjoy this week, and really enjoy the hotel stay, really enjoy the bus ride, really enjoy your dinner, really enjoy everything with one another, because it goes by so fast. And when it's over, it is over, and then you move on to the next stage of life, and you may or may not talk to those people again until you're on a Zoom call, however many years later. And one day you'll be sitting in your kitchen, and you'll have a 6-week-old baby, and life is wonderful, and you'll be ready for that because you went through a program where Coach Mahan expected a lot out of you. And so it may be frustrating, it may be annoying, but it's worth it. And have so much fun. It's the best time of your life, and you'll look back and you'll miss it, but enjoy every moment now. So sorry I answered more than your question.
No, all good. It's called the talk show for a reason.
That's just how I feel about it. And I'm just so grateful for my time there, and my teammates. And teammates are just the most special people that you'll ever have in your life. And regardless of what stage of basketball you play at, it's the best. In fact, one of my college teammates is here holding my baby right now. And so it's just the best. So enjoy every moment.
All right, Reagan, you go next.
Thinking back to region, I don't know. It's a cloud nine feeling. It's one of those things where you think back on it, and then all of a sudden, like, your heart's just warm and your cheekbones get high, and it's just, you get this tickled feeling inside. Just looking back at all the pictures and all the posts that I see on Facebook this week. And like Madison said beforehand, it does carry you throughout your life. I don't think that I would have the work ethic that I do today if it wasn't for specifically basketball. Mahan actually pushing me to always do my best, pushing me to take it one step further, even if I feel like that's impossible to do, and I absolutely cannot. Overall though, I don't think I would be where I am in life without North Laurel basketball. So
all right, Isabel, your turn.
Yeah, just the whole team. All these memories, it's just the best feeling ever. But you also are just such a role model for your community. And I remember that going to the elementary schools was just that was such a highlight to see the impact you're having that goes beyond just the program and for generations to come. And it's just a really cool opportunity that you have to be a role model and to show younger girls how just to work really hard, how to put your teammates above yourself. And I'm just really grateful for that. And I now work with the military, and so there's a lot of opportunities where you just have to execute under pressure. And I'm just really, man, I think about it all the time. I'm like, okay, I feel like Mayhem prepared me for this. This is important. Like, you got to step up to the plate. So I think that through my entire time at North Arl, you just have to step up to the plate and really know when you're gonna give your 110%. And so I just really am grateful for all the coaches and staff and my family, especially. You think of all the practices and investment that it takes as you move forward, and all the investment that they make in your character and in your game, and just to feed me. I know, like, there's just so many things that, yeah, I'm just really grateful for all the people that really invested in me at that point in my life.
Absolutely.
All right, Gracie,
Let's
you're
go,
up.
Gracie. Find some words deep in this heart of yours. We know they're there. Let's go.
Come on, JU.
JU.
Oh,
No, don't bring it up.
Isabel, should we
the
tell the
program.
story?
I told Gracie I was going to ask her to spell her name in this.
JU, yep. No, this program, it means a lot to me. I wouldn't have came back if it didn't mean as much to me as it did. I've led the blue and green for a long time. Mahan has been, again, a big part of that. What you all have said, 100% true. Love him to death. Know I can come to him for anything. He's just all around the best coach that I've ever had. And I hope these girls see this. And when they go to state, I hope they just have the time of their lives, because we sure did. We had a ball. We thought we were big stuff going up there, getting interviewed by all them people in that media room and doing all the walkthroughs at the schools. We had a great time. It was great.
All right, now we got the two on the end here.
we'll go. Bill.
You two have won multiple region championships. Kind of talk about which one was maybe your favorite. Bella's been a part of 3 of them. Jalen's been a part of 2.
3.
3? Oh, yeah, you were in 2019 too. My fault.
I mean, I wasn't a big part,
fault,
but I
my
was
fault.
part of
And we
forgot.
needed water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was locked in.
Jalen was also a part of 3 of them. She made sure that everybody got water, and she done a great job. So we'll start with you, Bella. Just kind of talk about the 3 that you won. Which one was maybe your favorite, meant the most to you, and kind of how each one felt different.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sitting here honestly thinking and looking at these girls on the Zoom and seeing Gracie sit next to me. I absolutely remember Isabel getting fouled on that 3, sitting in the fan going absolutely crazy, or getting in the police escort, watching the girls on the bus go by through town, heading to Rupp, or even moments like absolutely my favorite region championship, and my favorite year has to be my sister's senior year. Seeing her hit that 3 to go up 4 on Frederick Douglass, and hear, honestly, Coach B behind me going, no, screaming at me because he obviously didn't want to hit that shot. I'll never forget that. Or watching M hit that layup to secure the win and move on in the state tournament. But like I texted the girls previously, like a week ago, I said, these are the best moments of your life, and you don't realize it until you're not a part of the program. I had Facebook memories pop up this last week from the state tournament, and I got chills. And honestly, at a moment, I had tears rolling down my eyes, because wearing the blue and green is not everything, something everybody gets to do or experience the winning tradition. Like you said, I was part of 3 region championships and got to play at Rupp 3 times. Not everybody gets to say they can do that, and especially within our region. It's something that you don't take for granted, and lacing up your shoes and walking out on that court is something that every little girl dreams of. So like you said, going back to my favorite has to be my sister M, watching her win her senior year and experience it at Rupp. She's my biggest role model, and I'm very thankful. And not only do you talk about the memories, but it also brings you lifelong friends. This program does. I'm obviously sitting here.
It's my roomie, guys. It's my roommate.
I'm roommates with one of them. I still talk to him on the daily basis. And to be able to say that you got to wear North Laurel across your chest, yeah, personal awards are great. You remember that. But at North Laurel, the banners are hanging up as a team sport. And I try to tell the girls this is go out there and play for each other, but especially go out there and play for your senior because this is her last go around. It's her last chance to win and her last chance to wear the blue and green. So honestly, being part of this program is something I took for granted at some times, and I didn't really understand what it was or how it felt to be a part of it until I'm sitting here today about to go watch the girls play at Rupp tomorrow. But I'll always be their biggest fans because when I played there, I had girls like Jay Black and and all these people that say, hey, good luck, all these messages. It's a community and it's a family, and it's something that I'll forever be grateful for and be thankful for the wins, obviously. I mean, by the time I was there in high school, we were used to winning, and I really didn't experience losing a lot, and these girls can't take that for granted also as well. But very honored to wear the blue and green.
All right, Jay, you're up.
Gosh, I had to we'll start with this, a little story. Halftime championship against South Saturday night. I'm in the bathroom and I'm splashing water on my face and I'm having heart palpitations because we're down 3 and my beloved Lady Jags are struggling and we can't hit a shot. And I was in my head, I'm thinking, why do I care so much about this? Like, I have no control over the game. This shouldn't bother me this much, but like, I mean it when I say this is all I've ever known. Like, my dad was working at North Laurel when I was born. Like, this is all I've ever known. I've ran those halls. I came to your all's practices, sat on the bench in my little Shooting Stars jersey, and just dreamed of the time that I would get to be in your all's shoes and get to do that. And 2019 was kind of that region championships what lit that fire. Like, I remember after that, like, my mindset as a basketball player was just never the same. Like, I just chased that high, that championship feeling. Like, that's all I ever wanted in life. Not even on the court, but like, wanting to be the best, wanting to be number one at everything you do. And like she mentioned, Emily's senior year, I can't say that was a fun one for me because all tournament, all I thought was, oh God, Emily's going to kill us if we don't win this. I'm like, this is a childhood friend. I was like, and some people, everyone sees the sweet side of Emily, but like when she's got one thing on her mind, that's all that's on her mind. And she can get fiery, boys, let me tell you. So I was nervous the whole tournament, like, oh God, I gotta do something, or Emily's gonna kill us if we lose. So my favorites, obviously, my senior year. JoJo, you remember we got our butts kicked at WYMT championship. I mean, I thought Mayhem was gonna walk out the door and never return on this team. He was mad. And obviously I was disappointed too because we just let them come in and control the whole game. But anyways, senior night in the jungle, and Mayhen's like, y'all want to do senior night before the game? And he told us, he was like, pick your senior night. And I was like, it's Corbin. I was like, senior night's Corbin. I was like, we're doing it. And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, mark it down. Like, that's senior night. So before the game, like, Mayhen's over here sobbing and I'm holding my ball and my flowers. And I'm like, it's game on, boys. Like, screw senior night. And we ended up, like a 23-point turnaround, I think, from the WYT championship to senior night in February. And then let alone we meet them in the region championship again. And we knew, we were like, we're winning this. But it was a really, like, hyped up, anticipated game because we were 1-1 against them. And we came out to play. We led at halftime. And then I shot the best I've ever shot at the Corbin Arena. I hate that freaking gym. I hate those 18-wheelers sitting behind the goal. I hate the giant American flag. Like, I love this country, but, like, I'm trying to shoot a basketball. Like, I just can't stand all that. So, come out there, went 3 for 3. I let them hear about it. Then I got slung into the bench, turned around, hyped the crowd up. And I guess just to say all that to say, like, each championship was special for its own reason, kind of what you all touched on. Like, my 7th grade year, 2019, lit the fire. Emily's senior year in 2023, I was playing for her. And then my senior year in 2024, that region championship, like that was for me. That was for all the late nights in the gyms, all the self-doubt, all the, low confidence, all the, times when you didn't even know if it was going to be worth it. That one was for me. So, yeah, I just love this school. I mean, I have no option. I feel like I came out of the womb in a North Laurel shirt. Like, this was just what was meant to be for me. And honestly, I wake up every day and I'm just so grateful that God placed my family here. Like, I get emotional talking about it because the way this community is treated, my dad, my mom, my brother, me, like this has just been a second home for us. And the people here are second to none. Like, I wouldn't trade it for anything else. The relationships I've made, the friendships, the memories, it's just, I mean, nothing beats the North Side. Like, I couldn't imagine going to school anywhere else. I couldn't imagine wearing any two other colors. Like, this is awesome. This was where I was meant to be. So
awesome. So I have one more thing I want to ask every one of you, and we'll go around the thing. I just want you to, each one of you talked about how playing for Mahan, that it prepared you for life. So I just want to tell us when you graduated and what you're doing now with your life. Just give us where you're at now. And Madison, you have to show us Baby Shepherd.
Okay, let me get him in here. Just a
Yeah. So Madison is now Madison Wigington, and her baby's name is Shepherd. So we're going to get to see Baby Shepherd here. So while she's getting Shepherd in here, we'll start with you, Reagan. You're over here on the left side of the screen for me. So we'll start with you, and we'll go left to right. So Reagan, just tell us what year you graduated and what you're doing with your life now.
I graduated in 2019, and now I'm a middle school special education teacher in Estill County.
Awesome.
And a mom.
I am a mother, yes, to an 18.
There we go.
There we
go.
Hey, there you go. Awesome. All right. Looks like Madison's got Shepherd there. So,
right.
Madison, you go next.
Shepherd does not like to sleep, so he's not in bed. But yeah, so I graduated in 2018, and my husband Caleb and I are, excuse me, he just burped. I don't know if you heard that. My husband Caleb and I are living in Louisville, Kentucky. Caleb is on staff at a church here as a pastor, and then I run the Shepherd Family Foundation nonprofit. So I get to stay home and be with this little guy right here while also just loving and serving on the people of London. And yeah, so this is Shepherd, and he is 6 weeks old, and he weighs 14 pounds and 8 ounces, and he is 24 inches long. And he is the best little buddy, even though he doesn't sleep, but he's very sweet, and we love him very much. So that's me.
All right, Isabel.
Yeah, I graduated in 2020 with COVID, so quite the end of the senior year that we would have never expected. But I am currently living in Cocoa Beach, Florida. I work for the Space Force here, and I've actually gotten the opportunity to play basketball for the military team. So that's a blast. Absolutely awesome. But yeah, I definitely miss home, but very grateful for the opportunities that God has opened up for me.
Isabel works at NASA, guys. That's going to be a hard one to beat. I'm sorry.
I was telling Jay, I was like, I don't want to go after
all of you ladies are very, very successful in your own individual way. That's why I'm doing this, because you all are great young ladies. Very, very proud of all of you all, even the ones that I don't know very well. I'm very, very proud of every one of you. And so, Gracie, tell us where you're at.
Yeah, we'll follow it up with I graduated in 2020. I am a PE teacher at East Bernstein Independent.
Yeah.
And an assistant coach.
And an assistant coach.
You
and
know,
you're pouring your life into young children.
Yes, the
and
future.
You're doing a great thing.
A coach.
Don't undersell yourself, Gracie.
Yeah,
you have done great for your life. All right, Jalen.
Me? Okay. I graduated in 2024. I'm now a sophomore at the University of Kentucky, double majoring in sports journalism and sports communication. And I'm a co-founder of the Jaguar Broadcasting Network and currently play-by-play broadcaster, and also working in production for SEC Network.
All right. I graduated last year in 2025, and I'm currently a freshman at the University of Kentucky. And I'm majoring in pre-nursing and want to later on be a pediatric nurse practitioner.
All right. That's all I have. Jay, do you have any more?
No, I think it's been a great show. This has been
Yep.
exactly what we wanted for you all to come on here and just talk about the experiences you've had as a Lady Jag and kind of how it's shaped all of us into the future and the career we have now, and how Eddie Mahan has turned this program around and just the things he's done for the lives of so many. It's been cool to hear you all talk about that. So yeah.
All right. So, ladies, thank you very much for your time. I know you all are busy. It's late at night, so we're going to let you all go. And when we come back from this break, we're going to talk with the legend himself, Mr. Eddie Mahan.
Man, we should have had him on with us.
Y'all can still stay on and watch.
He's been right here.
He's
been here. He's been listening. He's listened to all of it.
Whatever.
You all can talk to him. Here.
Boo.
There you go.
Hey guys.
Coach, how you
This is
doing?
great.
Hey guys. Hey, I've listened to all the great things. Listen,
He's cried a little
He's
bit.
been tearing up.
I've been tearing up. Y'all know how I get.
All right,
emotional.
now we get to tell stories.
No story time. No stories. But I am going to say this. Guys, I know you all probably remember more things like Isabel. I know you probably remember me getting on you for matching socks your senior year.
Oh my gosh, I'll never forget that.
Isabel said, "Jay, let's go up and run." I'm like, "Why are we running? Like, we need new
We're
socks."
going, Jay. We gotta run, bro.
And Mayhem was like, "Did I say run? 5 new socks."
And I was a little 7th grader watching y'all run up there. I said, what have I got myself into? I was like, oh my God.
While you all remember those as the stories more than anything else, here's some of the stuff I remember. You, after beating, and I hate to say this with Coach Birchall, beating Clay County in the semifinals of district, because we did, by the way, a blind draw that year and had to play Redbird in the championship. But
That's so crazy.
Different. Us and Clay is 2 of the best teams in the region. Things are going wrong in that game that we won't talk about a whole lot. The way you led in that game, the way that afterwards, the pure just joy of your celebration afterwards, that's the stuff that I remember. Madison, your fierceness of the way that you competed. I don't know if I've ever seen a better Christian human being who would cut your throat in a basketball game. And so those are the things that I will always have. Reagan, the way that you absolutely came in and had changed so much about you, not just you as a basketball player, but you, the confidence that you came to have. You talk about a player that was so different from sophomore year to senior year. You were a different person in so many ways, but that confidence that you had was so different. And you led us. You may not have done that verbally. You may not have done that because you like basketball experience or anything like that. But I know the respect that everybody had for you as a person changed our team. They played so hard for you as juniors, as sophomores or freshmen or whatever, because they loved you. Grace, I can go through all my former players. Gracie's love for it. She was one of the most unselfish people. If she missed her first shot, she'd never take another one. Now she hit her first, she could probably hit 6 more. But Jalen's love absolutely for North Laurel through and through. Bella's ability to absolutely come into a room and just take over a room. I remember these are the things. Okay, I love you guys. I love you all tremendously. You're always a part of my basketball family. Love you guys.
Love you, Coach.
Love you. Love you.
All right, Ethan Eversole, if you want to take us to a break, this is going to wrap up the Good Old Days segment here. Again, thank you all so much for taking time out of your night to join the show. This has been really awesome, and hopefully memories we can share our kids someday, just reminiscing about the good old days. So we'll step aside and take a quick break, and then we'll come back and talk about the Sweet 16 matchup with head coach Eddie Mahan.
North Laurel Jaguar basketball is brought to you all season long by Revolution Physical Therapy in London, Kentucky. At 195 Commercial Drive, Suite 100, Revolution PT specializes in sports rehab, injury recovery, and personalized care to help you heal, strengthen, and get back in the game. Call 606-657-5111 today to schedule your appointment and stop letting pain slow you down. Revolution Physical Therapy. Be better, move better, play better.
For quality casework since 1975, look no further than Stidham Cabinet Incorporated at 471 Nursery Road in Corbin. If you want experience, expertise, and dedication, you've found it at Stidham Cabinet. Come create your dream design by visiting our 2,000 square foot showroom, or visit StidhamCabinet.com to see a list of all of our name brand products to choose from. That's Stidham Cabinet, 471 Nursery Road in Corbin. Phone number 606-528-3648 or 800-425-0899.
North Laurel Jaguar basketball is brought to you all season long by Revolution Physical Therapy in London, Kentucky. At 195 Commercial Drive, Suite 100, Revolution PT specializes in sports rehab, injury recovery, and personalized care to help you heal, strengthen, and get back in the game. Call 606-657-5111 today to schedule your appointment and stop letting pain slow you down. Revolution Physical Therapy. Be better, move better, play better.
Welcome back to the Jaguar Broadcasting Network late night talk show. Me and JoJo Markham joined now by head coach Eddie Mahan as we preview tomorrow night's 8:30 first round of the Sweet 16 matchup against GRC.
So obviously it's always a tough matchup with GRC. We've had our experiences with them in the past already. Very well coached team, always very talented. They're always going to be one of the most talented teams in the state of Kentucky. They just keep reloading with that every year. But, you have to go in prepared. I do like, and I can't remember if it was you that was earlier saying it or not, having a team like that, when you're going to play, we've worked on a lot of great things that our coaching staff has put together. You all touched on Coach Burchell earlier, legend. He's forgot more about basketball than most people ever know. He is such a tremendous asset to our program. He's not the only one, though. Coach Booth has been a great addition to us. And no, he doesn't have, the accolades of the numerous region championships that Coach Burchell does with his career. But, man, he's energetic. He knows the game. He's got experience of winning. He's a winner at heart. He's done a tremendous job with us. Courtney Thomas, who has, not only does she do a great job coaching and helping us develop kids, she works with in our groups with our guards all the time and things like that. But she's a good bridge between the players and myself. And then Gracie Jervis was a tremendous addition as well, too, because she knows me. I mean, she knows the history that you all have been talking about so well and things like that she can kind of talk to the current players and been in the past. So back to your question with GRC, though, our staff has really worked hard to try to, in this short amount of time from a region championship on Saturday, to stop the celebration by Monday and let's get rolling on getting prepared. And, they're different than getting prepared for a South Laurel. Mm-hmm. A South Laurel, you're going to be able to know every one of their sets and what they're going to be able to do. And this GRC is they break free from things. They have their tendencies and they, have a free-flowing offense. But, you're not going to be able to just say, this is where I got to be and this is what I got to memorize. So there's a little bit more preparation into throughout this week. But our staff has done a great job getting the kids ready.
Yeah, I guess with Dickie, his biggest claim to fame is being Jared Lorenzen's backup.
Oh,
so I had to get that jab in. I mess with Dickie all the time about that. And no joke, though, the things that your staff does, you have a great staff around you. We give you the praise. You're the head man, and it takes a great leader to put those pieces around you that, maybe you're strong in this point, but they're strong in this point, and you feed off each other. And, Dickie brings stuff with his intensity. The man has played at every level of baseball. He got drafted in the MLB draft. He coached at the college level. So he brings that winning mentality. You've got Burchell that has years and years of experience. Courtney played. She brings that more feminine side to it. as a male coach, you kind of have to have that to be able to have a woman to talk about the woman things. Because I know me and you don't want to talk about that.
Not even that, but like she's been in our position before,
Yeah.
it's completely different. Like Dickie, like you mentioned, brings like the great winning mentality. I don't understand what it was like as a teenage girl, to play basketball at this high level, but Courtney does, and I feel like that's where she really comes into play, is kind of helping us handle our emotions, work our way through the ups and downs, and also I've never went to her and she's never not had a piece of gum. So shout out Courtney. She's got the gum stocked.
One thing Dickie does too is he scouts every team, and that man watches hours and hours and hours and hours of film. So shout out to Dickie Booth.
Well, two things too, and you all know, and especially Jalen, who's been around forever. There was a long time that no one could have ever imagined me and Coach Birchall being on the exact same staff.
Oh, yeah.
We're polar opposites when it comes to basketball in so many ways.
I was shocked when he got hired. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, these two worlds are colliding. But then after the shock wore off, I was like, this is awesome. I was like, this program is about to take off like the levels it's never reached when you put two of the best basketball coaches and minds in the region together on a team. Like that
think differently. Think differently. And that's what's so good is no matter who we're playing, we have the ability to be able to switch back and forth. And he brings so many things that I don't quite think of, because I'm a very aggressive, coach. Let's get in their face. Let's play defense. Let's speed it up. Let's go harder. Let's go faster. Let's go stronger. Let's go. And so he's the type that will say, oh, let's slow down just a second. And, sometimes you don't want to meet force with force. Sometimes that patience comes a long ways. And I love that addition. We work really well together. And I love that, and then you were talking about Coach Booth. He's helping me have a longer career right now. For years, doing the scouting part. Now, I had a lot of great assistant coaches, some sitting in this room right now, a lot of wonderful coaches. The way Dickie has his competitiveness is like mine. And so I used to watch 8, 9, 10, 11 hours on every single team we were playing. Now I'm watching more like 3 or 4 because I also know that he's watching 7 or 8. So between the two of us, we're covering it extremely well. So I'm able to take a little bit of a step back. And as I'm going through the years now, and they are going through pretty quickly, it's great to have that addition that can help hopefully keep, the juices flowing a little bit longer in a coaching career.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Coach, I want to kind of just go over this whole entire season. I feel like we've experienced every emotion imaginable to the human through this season. Just kind of go through the ups and the downs. We had a little stint, talked about this entire night, and then we found it, and these girls have took off ever since then. So just kind of go through that and the growth of this team throughout the year.
Well, early on, first there was the doubt. It seems like every single season,
mark it down.
You can just go ahead and say we're going to be doubted.
At least we were number one going into this season.
We were, the tip of the hat to those who voted us number one this year. But there was all those doubts, and it's because we have had so many great players, and we've had a tremendous amount. Whether it was Brooke Nicholson last year, or whether it was Emily Sizemore, or whether it was you guys graduating, or Chloe, or whoever it was, right down to Kayla Bruner when she was graduating. They always end up saying, oh, well, this is the time that North Laurel is going to take a step back. Being quite the team that they were the year before. What we've tried to build from the ground up is a team that just passes down that culture, passes down that torch to the next group and says, take it to another level. And that's what this team has learned these last few weeks. December, they came out and we played assumption right off the bat. At the time, everybody thought of them as one of the top 2 or 3 teams, and they still probably are one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the state of Kentucky. Very, very athletic. Has a kid who's probably front runner for Miss Kentucky basketball. We played them close. We didn't win. I'm not a moral victory type of guy, but people were like, that looked pretty good. We then went on a winning streak throughout the rest of the tournament, and we were probably farther along than what most people thought. And people
even I was the first after the Assumption game, like, wow, have to restart. Like these girls have picked up in summer ball, and just even over the years growing up as Jaguar fans and watching the older ones, and they're a lot further along than I thought too.
And so, with that being said, we were feeling pretty good, and then we hit a pretty tough stretch in the schedule. Now, two things: one, January is always the toughest in this program. We challenge you a whole lot, so we're pushing you a whole lot. And when that grind of January comes around, it gets hard every year. I can't think of a season that, in my 15 years here, that January wasn't the toughest month for us. This January was tougher than many. One, we were not handling the adversity very well. And that's, to me, one of the top two keys of being a successful team is, how do you handle adversity?
Absolutely.
If you're not handling adversity and you crumble under it, then don't expect to win big games. Don't expect to win a region championship. A perfect example was how we did against South.
Yeah.
We are not scoring very well. That's adversity. How do you handle that? Can you keep your cool? I never was worried in that South game. Why? Because after January, after all of those bad games that we had, probably the worst being the Simon Kenton game, which I told our kids 10 years. 10 years had been since we'd lost that bad.
That's what I wanted. That's what I was sitting here thinking. I was a little worried, like you mentioned about this team, how they would handle adversity, because all season, there was nothing. I didn't see much fire from them after adversity, after a loss, or after we didn't play very well. It was just kind of like, okay, whatever. But I had a couple of them, tell me about you saying that, and that's how I know they cared. When you told them that and let them know, like, you guys are really bringing the standard down right now, the way you're playing, the way you're not having energy, there's not really any effort to try to, come back into that Simon Kenton game. They were a little hurt when you said that, but that's exactly what they needed. They needed kind of a, oh crap, he's right. Like, let's sit back and think about where we are, what we've done the last few weeks. Like, it's not been good. We lost to South on the away game, and ever since then it was kind of a teeter back and forth. But that comment, I think, is what flipped the switch for him.
I think the South game at South, beginning of January, which had come off the Christmas tournament, what was the punch that kind of knocked us back a little bit. It stunned us some, and it hurt our confidence. We were a confident team in December. We give up 21 points in that fourth quarter. We kind of lost our minds, and we were not we weren't handling the adversity of the fourth quarter. That started a confidence problem throughout January. It peaked at Simon Kenton. And the worst part about it, guys, in the regular season, I don't coach for wins and losses. It's not about that.
Yeah.
I think you all have been around me enough to know I want to win everything, but really what we're doing is we're trying to learn.
Yeah.
We're trying to prepare you through adversity. We game at the last minute because of all the games we had lost, in snow and stuff like that. We drive all the way up to Simon Kenton, hadn't really prepared a whole lot. I'm throwing you into adversity, but the problem that I saw there was we didn't keep fighting back. When the adversity hit in the first quarter, we stopped fighting back, and so that was the part that disappointed me. That was the part that I said, this could be an issue for this team. And we needed a awakening. We needed something that jarred us and said, this isn't who North Laurel is. You have to have more pride in the people who've played before you, the things that you all were talking about earlier. That was an important thing to make sure that we kind of realized you're a part of something bigger than just you, and you don't get to just give up. This team has rallied around it. They have responded and have not lost since that Simon Kenton game.
Ooh, I'm getting chills. I'm getting fired up just thinking about it.
Because they came together then. And I'm going to, Mariella has been a consistent factor for us all year long. So I want to make sure I bring her up in this. But Haley Combs has been a difference maker since then. I've always seen the flashes of the player that I knew she is. Like, yes, for 3 years we've been able to say the same thing. prototypical point guard, pass first, run the offense, good defender,
Yeah.
da 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 da.
The one that sticks out to me, South at North Laurel, her sophomore year, very beginning of the season. The season had just started. It might have been the first or second week. 18 points against South, and we beat them by probably 6 or 7 or 8. And that's the Haley Combs that I know is there. That's the Haley Combs that's deep down in there. And you're right. These last few weeks, she's found it. She's rose to the occasion 100%.
And it's been consistent. It's every game. Our team another level of confidence because yes, they know that Marielle is going to be there defensively, offensively, rebounding, blah blah blah. But then all of a sudden, now your point guard is at a whole other level. And when you have those bookends, you all have been a part of those teams that had those bookends. You had Emily Sizemore. You had Chloe McKnight. You had those bookends that you all get to come in and say, I got a point guard that's going to give me my open shot. I got a post that's going to get a double team and is going to kick out to me. So you know how great that is and how much more confident you get to play when you have that. We're having that right now.
Yeah, Mo and Haley they're completely indispensable to this team. We were going to have them on the show, but we decided it was better for them to get some rest because this was late. One thing I really want to talk about is Haley Combs' 21 steals in the region tournament.
That's a record.
21.
I don't know if you heard. That's a region record.
And
I remember Dad was like, I don't know how many steals Haley has. I'd say about 7. I said, she's in double digits. I was like, she's in double digits. Like, you can tell.
I have seen Haley. She's been here since her sophomore year, and she is finally being the point guard that we knew that she was. She didn't know that she was. You knew she was. I knew she was. Courtney was telling her she was. Everybody was telling her she was. She wouldn't listen, and now she's finally listened, and she is bawling out. I cannot tell you how proud I am of Haley Combs for the leadership that she has given us this last couple weeks. I'm so proud. She came from another program to North Laurel, but she is North Laurel through and through, and she embodies what it means to be a part of this program. And I'm so proud of her.
Well, and when we're saying all this, she's been a good player for all 3 years.
That's what
that's what I'm saying.
This is special. This is next level, and it's been since the Simon Kenton game a month ago. And this month, she has consistently gave us everything we have needed and more. And I'm so proud of that. That's the player I've wanted to see for this time. She's a special young lady, love her to death, and she's given us one. People think sometimes when I'm coming at you hard, it's that I don't like you or I have something. I see something in you.
Potential.
I see potential. I see another level, and that's what I am so happy to see that in her right now.
That's one thing I was going to mention. She was sophomore year, junior year, still a really good player, really good point guard. But it was kind of what Mahan said. She had Brooke Nicholson, she had Mariella Claybrook, so she wasn't having to do as much. But this season, with all the younger players who are getting a lot more minutes, she's reached that next level because she's really had no other option. She's had to get up there, or this team was going to fail, and it couldn't have come at a more perfect time.
Yeah, I can't put into words how much confidence I have in Haley Combs right now. I will put Haley Combs against any point guard you want to put her up against. Haley Combs, I have full confidence can lead us to a state championship this week. 100% confident in that. She has showed that she can rise to the occasion and she can be that dog that we need her to be, and I'm very, very proud of that.
And it's a complete, she is the definition of a complete all-around basketball player. Most of the time you're either really good defensively and you're average on offense. Me, for example, defense was surprisingly where my purpose in the game, and the offense was just an added bonus. But Haley is it's all of it. It's the point guard leadership to get the team in place. It's the offensive ability, the shooting. She's not really shot a lot in the last few games, but she can knock down. I think if I remember my stats correctly, she was shooting nearly 40% from 3-point range. So it's just the fact that she's an all-around basketball player. She's not just helping us out here or there. It's in every aspect of the game, and it's huge.
You know,
Okay, I was going to say.
well, I was going to say after that, though, the other part is once Haley has started doing that, though, now that has opened up our wings to be better. And then you now have Molly Morgan, who had such a huge game in a
Let's talk about
region
Molly
championship.
Yeah, we got to get on that.
And Emma Carl, who has been
Absolutely.
a huge lift to us the last few weeks as well, too. And they're doing it on the defensive end, which, you know, now solidifies our team up on both ends. And we have so many good players. You know, that has been the hardest part about coaching this team is, one, we're very young. You know, we have more eighth graders than anything else right now. Every single one of these kids can play.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a kid on my roster who you don't look at and say, man, that kid brings something to our team. And if they were out here more, they could give us this, this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, unfortunately, you know, that's what you have when you're at a really good program. It is a lot of good kids, but you don't get that same amount of time as I know a lot of eighth graders look around and they see an eighth grader playing over here, playing over there, and they get score 15 a game, and that sometimes hurts.
Mm-hmm.
These kids have sacrificed some of that early success to be a part of a region championship program. And so, you know, we got a lot of talent.
Well, you look at players, even Brooke Nicholson. I was here since she was in 7th grade.
She didn't play.
Brooke did not play very much.
No.
I mean, she came off the bench. She didn't start as a 7th, 8th grader, but she is now very, very successful, playing at the next level, playing at D1 level, and one of the best players to ever play in the 13th region. And I want to go back to the Molly Morgan, M. Carl.
Well, before you get on that tangent, hold that thought. I was just going to add that I think that's one thing that our program's done a really good job of setting, like as the basis. Like, if you give us your loyalty, if you give us your hard work, your time will come.
It will pay
off.
Like,
if you wait your turn and do other things for this team, like when I think about it, Abby Hubbard comes to my mind.
Yes.
Abby waited her turn. She continued to work hard. She was the best teammate, the biggest uplifter in the locker room. And then the region championship against South, she gets her moment. She gets in there, hits a layup. And I remember, like, she laughs about my call on that all the time because I was like, Hubbard through the lane, gets the layup to go. And I was like, I wanted to cry for you because you sacrificed so much. And a lot of people would have quit. They would have transferred. You know, they would have done what was best for them. But Abby stuck around, waited her turn. And I think that's something our program, many people over the years have kind of passed down to the younger ones.
You look at Ella Hubbard this year. She's got spotty minutes all throughout the year. We're so deep, it's hard to get her in there. But she went into that Bell County game, went toe-to-toe with a senior, and was better. She was the better player.
Yeah.
She was kicking her tail.
And Coach B was like a proud papa on the bench. It was awesome.
That's the thing. Like, she didn't play in the South game, I don't think at all.
Mm-mm.
But Ella is happy. She's over there just like you were, Jay. She's getting the water. She's taking it to she's being a great teammate, and she knows that her time will come. That's what it takes to play for this program. That's why we have 5 championships right here. That's why we do what we do. That's why we have the standard. Talking about Molly Morgan, that 3 that she hit to put us up 6, I videoed myself on the broadcast. I jumped higher than I've ever jumped in my entire life.
Your celebration was good, but it was not Coach Birch's.
Oh, no. That was a huge moment, and for a freshman to come in there and knock down that shot like that with ice in her veins and it never even phased her, that is why you wait your turn. That is why you wait till you're ready and wait till you're there. You look at Emma Carl. She gets her 4th foul. Then the very next play, she goes down and has one of the biggest blocks I've ever seen in high school basketball, and just absolutely says, "Give me that." And it was amazing. Huge momentum swing right there. You look at our other players. Laylee is an 8th grader. She has balled out for us all year long. She has had games where that raw game, she hit some that were 40 foot from behind the line. Each and every one of these players, if you just wait your turn, your time will come. That's how you hold the standard. You do what you got to do until you get to the next phase. That's what a dynasty is. You're holding that standard through the generations.
You knew the Molly Morgan 3 was huge when Mahan had a fist up in the air. Like, you never get that kind of reaction because we're always big on, You have to be right here. Your emotions can't get too low. You can't be like, okay, we're out of this because we're down 3 at halftime. But you can't be like, okay, we've got this win because we just hit 2 big threes and we're up 6, So with Mahan, that's what he preaches is you stay right here. We're just in the middle. So when he's up here going crazy, that's how you know it's a big shot. And
I was so happy for her because she has been patient all year and she has put in the work and she's been known as that defender. And you know how it is when you get labeled. And your job is to go and defend the best player.
You fit in this box.
Yes, and you're not supposed to break out. And here she goes in, and she don't hit one, but she hits 2 huge threes in that game. Tremendous job. So I was happy for that. And then also what most people didn't know, she was sick all through the earlier in the week.
No way.
And
she had barely practiced because she had been sick.
So she comes in, and honestly, one of the reasons that she didn't play as much the night before was I was trying to make sure she had enough energy to be able to spill over, and I knew I was going to need her in that South game. We knew matchup wise that you needed her. So she wasn't upset from not playing the night before. She wasn't down on herself. She doesn't she comes in, gives us what we need, and that's special. And that deserves to be celebrated. And I was excited for her.
Absolutely. A little bit about, I guess we'll talk about the GRC team this year. I mean, honestly, they're different from how they've been in the past. We talked about it. They don't have the height that they used to have. I mean, I think it was Emily's senior year, 2023, they had both Byer sisters, and it was the Twin Towers. And we had freshmen, or maybe she was we had 8th grader Mariella in the paint just getting annihilated by the younger Byer sister. And then we had junior Chloe McKnight. There's a picture. Byer's sister has her hand in Chloe's face, and Chloe's trying to go for the layup. Like, we were just getting bodied in there. But this URC team's a little bit different. They did get a transfer in, like a month ago from Boyd County. I think she was averaging 14 and 6 as an 8th grader at Boyd County, and then had 21 against Sacred Heart later on after she transferred to GRC. So they have the guard talent. Obviously, Stamper has caused us issues. But I think the most important thing for us is that we don't panic on the offensive end. I mean, they're lengthy. They're going to be able to do a press and try to speed us up. But if we can keep calm on that, I think we'll do fine defending them.
They're athletic. They're very heady on defense. They keep the pressure on you. They're deep. They keep coming at you with numbers of just coming. But being able to take care of the ball so well. We have worked a lot on our press offenses. We're gonna have to keep our head about us. They're one of those teams that can turn one turnover into like 4 or 5, and that's how they make their runs. You feel like you're right in the ball game, and then all of a sudden, within a minute and a half, if you're not careful, the entire game can change, and then you're playing from behind. So, mentality is going to be big for us. Yeah. We were talking in here before they had lights out that when we were talking for tomorrow, our mentality that the way that we played against Ryle a few weeks ago of coming in and just mentally being strong, that you're never going to have a perfect game. There's no such thing as a perfect game. What you have to be able to do, though, is when you make one mistake, be able to let it go and make up for it. And that's going to be a big key for us tomorrow, because they're too good to let you play flawless. Yeah. So you're going to make a mistake. Can you just turn it around and make that one mistake and then fix it right after that?
Yeah, short memory, going to be important. Anything else?
I believe that'll do it for Coach Eddie Mahan. We'll let you get some sleep, Coach. Get ready to go. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to do one last segment. We're going to kind of just recap the games from today, say what's going to go on tomorrow, the games, what time we play, things like that. But for now, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back in a few minutes here on the Jaguar Broadcasting Network.
North Laurel Jaguar basketball is brought to you all season long by Revolution Physical Therapy in London, Kentucky. At 195 Commercial Drive, Suite 100, Revolution PT specializes in sports rehab, injury recovery, and personalized care to help you heal, strengthen, and get back in the game. Call 606-657-5111 today to schedule your appointment and stop letting pain slow you down. Revolution Physical Therapy, be better, move better, play better.
All right, we're back here on the Jaguar Broadcasting Network. I'm just going to kind of recap today's games, just kind of give you all some information of what happened there, and then I'll turn it over to Jay. She can go through tomorrow, and then we'll close it out here. So our first game of the day was Assumption versus Callaway County. Assumption won 72-35. I actually misspoke. That was the second game of the day. The first game of the day was Henderson County versus Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass won that 44-23. Then next up, you had Notre Dame and Pikeville. Notre Dame ran away with that one 77-38. And then lastly, the closest game of the day was West Jessamine versus Taylor County, decided by 2-58 in that one. So those teams will move on. Frederick Douglass will play Assumption on Friday. Notre Dame will play Taylor County today in the Elite Eight.
Absolutely. Then we have coming up tomorrow. Looks like that's going to be the first game is at 1:30. No, 11 a.m. Sorry, 11 a.m. The Franklin Simpson will take on Bullitt East. Bullitt East, pretty strong team there. I'm trying to think of who come out of their region. I remember they were in a really close matchup at some point. Like that was a stacked region. We want to try to give you guys a little bit of a highlight of the teams who are on our side of the bracket.
Yeah. So Bullitt East looks like they took down DOS, Mercy, and PRP.
PRP
were their three opponents in region. They beat PRP 57-55 in the region championship, so a very close one right there.
And Mercy's been a team that was ranked pretty high all season there, so taking them out in the semifinals wasn't easy either. So they will take on Franklin Simpson there. Don't know much about Franklin
Simpson coming out of the fourth region. They played Greenwood, then Allen County, Scottsville, and then Barron County is who they defeated in the championship. They beat Barron County 60-56 in the fourth region championship.
Absolutely. So looking like a very, very good game there. And Barron County had beat them earlier in the season 75-49. I just came across. So, they've had some changes, obviously, to be able to pull that win out and make it 2-up. So that'll be the 11 a.m. game. Then followed up at 1:30 is Simon Kenton and Ashland Blazer, and I think that's going to be a heck of a first-round game.
That should be a very, very good game right there, Jay. If you look at the Lady Kittens, I believe is what they're called. They're the Tomcats if they're the boys, or they're called the Kittens if they're the girls. They are coming out of Region 16. They defeated East Carter, then Menifee County, and then they defeated Russell in the region championship 53-49 to move on. And then if you look at Simon Kenton, they are one of the top teams in the state right now. They are 31-2 overall for the season. Simon Kenton only has one loss or two. No, both of their losses are from out-of-state teams. Neither one of their losses are to in-state teams. We played them earlier in the year. We mentioned that earlier. Worst loss that we've had in North Laurel history in 10 years. I can assure you that that was not our best basketball.
Yeah.
And I am not scared to play them again. I will just say that. Lady Jags were not themselves that day, and I will play them again gladly. They are a great team. I'm not taking anything away from them with that, but I promise you I'm not scared. So then we'll go on to the next one.
Heading into the nightcap for the 6 o'clock game, we have Letcher County Central taking on Owensboro Catholic. Letcher County here is coming out of the 14th, I believe. Yes, 14th region, 23-10 on the season, and defeated a really good Knott County Central team, 43-37 in the region championship. And
then over to
Owensboro Catholic.
Yeah, Owensboro Catholic. My phone messed up there on me. So coming out of the third region, they played Breckenridge County, Edmondson County, and then they defeated Davies County 51-32 in the championship game. Overall, Owensboro Catholic is sitting at 26-9 for the year. So that's going to be a pretty good matchup there, I believe. And then obviously followed up
Yep.
by
We
the
always
nightcap.
we always get that late game.
Yep.
This
You've
is
got-
the first time we've played on a Thursday, though, I think, since we've made it.
Yeah, normally we have to play Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
So we're getting the nightcap tonight or tomorrow night. Us versus GRC, 8:30. Please come out and support your Lady Jags. We have a massive pep section coming. Our amazing administration has been working tirelessly since Monday to coordinate and get sponsors together. We are busing in at least a minimum of 60 kids that I know of, and that was earlier today, that had already signed up. So we could have upwards of 100 kids there supporting our Lady Jags. Please come out and support. We have great support from our community. We would just love for you all to come out to the game. It's going to be an awesome basketball game. Two top-tier matchups, or two top-tier teams. So please come out or not. Any cheer that you all give is going to help those ladies, just give them more energy, and hopefully we can bring home a state championship to Laurel County.
And I do want to add, I was a little disappointed at not even the kids. Everyone, obviously, student sections are kind of a thing of the past, and if you do want a really good one, you have to work really hard and do incentives to get kids to come. But the adults, I was disappointed for the girls' championship to look up there and see the lack of just, adults and regular people sitting up there. And then you go to the boys' game Monday night and it's packed out. Okay. Yep. And that's not taking anything away from our boys. Obviously, it's a good show. And I agree. There's a difference between, watching girls basketball and watching boys basketball, but they still deserve your support as much as the boys do. They've won 4 region championships in a row. I don't know what else you want from them.
We have a great girls basketball team. Like, if you're going to, some girls like you, and it's not good at all. But there's boys teams that are also like that. Your girl, Lady Jags, if that's level and see how it's played, they do it. I personally can't even sit and watch WNBA games or college high school games, but I love watching the Lady Jags because we play ball the right way and we do things the right way. And we're not out here missing 15 layups in one game. So please come out and support your Lady Jags. They play basketball the right way.
And I promise, I know you guys would probably think like, oh, well, the girls won't even notice if we're there. Like they won't even remember. I remember to this day the 8 people that showed up. I remember seeing their faces in the crowd my senior year when we went to Rupp. We remember, I promise. Like, it means a lot to these girls. That you all will make the trip up there and just be that extra boost, that 6th man for them in the crowd cheering. I promise. Take Frederick Douglass as an example. When we beat them the first round, the crowd we had that game, if we would do anything to get that back tomorrow night, because that crowd was what powered us through to get that win and take us to the Elite 8. But if anything, come out and get some soft serve ice cream.
Yeah, get you some of that ice cream. I had some today. It is just as good as Jay Billis says it is. If you've never experienced it before, it's worth the drive up just to have the ice cream. It is a little expensive. It's like $7.50 for an ice cream cone, but it is life-changing ice cream. So
it is. And the pulled pork mac and cheese.
Ooh, Ethan had some buffalo chicken mac and cheese today. He said it was really, really good. So there are multiple options. You can come for the food. If you're just not even a basketball lover, if you're a food lover, come eat the food and just cheer on your Lady Jags. Support your hometown. Because that's what it's all about. That's why these girls do it. That's why they play for the name across the front of their chest.
Yep, absolutely. So thank you all for joining us, tuning in tonight on the Jaguar Broadcasting Network for our late night talk show. This has been a blast. I thought we had some really good ideas, to bring in some former players, and hopefully this will be motivation for the girls going. I think it really helps, and we talked about it when Mayhem told them this is the worst loss the program's ever had in 10 years. That was kind of a perspective flip, because they were probably sitting in that locker room thinking, well, I don't give a crap that we just lost. It doesn't mean anything to me. But then when he brought in the fact that former players are looking at this thinking, gosh, this isn't the team we worked hard to build. This isn't the standard.
I've been a part of this program for 7 years, and I've never seen us just get
it
mopped
was embarrassing
like that. That was insane. I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah.
But that was not our standard.
Yeah, the point is that was what flipped the switch for them, was that perspective change and thinking about all those that come before them. So it was really awesome tonight to kind of give some of those players kind of the shout out that they deserve. And like I mentioned, I hope the girls go back and watch that and put a face to some of these names and just think about, some of the things they said about playing for each other, playing for the team, and playing for the name across your chest. Like, all in all, that's what you're here to do. And it really does motivate you in ways we can't explain. But so thank you all for tuning in again tonight. We are going to call it quits here on the Jaguar Broadcasting Network late night talk show, and we encourage you all, come out tomorrow night, 8:30. Your Lady Jags take on the Cardinals of George Rogers Clark. Be there and be loud. This has been Jalen Black, Jordan Markham. Big shout out to our athletic director, Ethan Eversole, for running the stream tonight, and we will see you on the next one. And as always,
go Jags.
You have to eat the dream. You have to sleep the dream. You have to dream the dream. You got to touch. You have to see it when nobody else sees it. You have to feel it when it's not tangible. You have to believe it when you cannot see it. You got to be possessed with the dream. The dream.
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it. Do it better than anybody you ever seen do it. Scream from the haters, got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero